If you like movies, check out my movie review channel. Every single movie title you see on the screen, I have a video about coming out within the next 2 weeks. I'm uploading a video every day for 2 weeks, so definitely make sure you're subscribed there. The link is in the description below. I got some other stuff on there too, some like breakdowns of certain scenes I like and things like that, so check it out. So let's say you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan. You have probably been thinking about this Super Bowl for a lot heading into it, and you're wondering, okay, what are the things that could go right and what are the things that could go wrong? What are the things that when you're in the shower, you say, oh, this could happen and that would be awesome, and then what are the things that you think of that make you say, oh, well, I hope that doesn't happen? Well, let's get into it. These are the top 5 things that could go right and things that could go wrong for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll start off with what could go wrong and then go into what could go right. So number 5, I have Andy Reid game management. And just to be clear, these are not things that I think will happen, just concerns I would have if I was a Chiefs fan. So Andy Reid game management is something we've seen him screw up so far throughout the course of his career. Obviously, famously in the Super Bowl in 2004 against the Philadelphia Eagles, with the Philadelphia Eagles against the New England Patriots, where the clock management was an issue. They did not run to hurry up on their touchdown drive to put them within 3, whereas when they got a stop and got the ball back, they just didn't have enough time to actually try to get a field goal and tie it. So again, Andy Reid definitely is a bit of an old school play caller, but I would also say is someone who tends to, in the big moments, go a little bit more aggressive when it comes to, again, he's always aggressive with play calls, but he goes a little bit more aggressive when it comes to game management stuff, 4th downs and things of that nature. But still, if we're talking about what could go wrong, this makes the list, but not high up on the list. It's number 5. Number 4 is the Eagles' offensive line just completely shuts down your defensive line, and Chris Jones can't do anything. They can run all over you, and there's definitely a chance this happens, right? This isn't something that's like a crazy, I don't know if this will ever happen. In fact, I'm predicting that the Eagles' offensive line has a good day, and that's a concern. Is Hurts going to have 4 seconds to make every throw? Probably not, but there is that concern. What if they just run all over you because of the offensive line? That's just something that if you're a Chiefs fan, you have to hope you can at least do somewhat okay. Number 3 is going to be the Kansas City tackles. The tackles for Kansas City, I'm talking about offensive tackles, could be a concern. Now, Andrew Wiley, he was a starting tackle last time they were in the Super Bowl, did not have a great day in that one, although he's an okay tackle, but he's a clear weakness of the offensive line. The offensive line has 4 very good linemen. Andrew Wiley has, not performed as well as you would like to see, and with a lot of good pass rushers coming to town, there's some concern. But you might notice, wait a second, if Andrew Wiley's the weak link, why did you write tackles? Why didn't you just write Andrew Wiley on this spot? Well, I've talked about this in a video as well. I think Haason Reddick versus Orlando Brown Jr. could actually be a mismatch. Kind of the one way that Orlando Brown Jr. tends to get beat is with speed, and Reddick is so explosive off the line. It's just something that concerns me, and I think that it would concern you if you are a Chiefs fan. Number 2 is starters can't go. Now, they got some good news that L'Jarius Sneed is going to be able to play, and that's probably the biggest news, but you still have some wide receivers that we just don't know how healthy they are, and even L'Jarius Sneed, it was a concussion thing, but, is he going to be all right to play? We don't know. That's definitely a concern, and if they aren't fully healthy, well then, will you be able to live up to your potential and be able to beat a very good Eagles team? But number 1 is kind of, in vain there. It's not about not being able to go because Mahomes is going to be out there. But what if he isn't fully healthy? What if Mahomes isn't able to fully play the way that we expect Mahomes to play? Now, listen. He played very well against Cincinnati. It wasn't a perfect day against Cincinnati, but given the circumstances, he played very well. I'm expecting Mahomes to be able to play well. But it's not necessarily in a vacuum. What if Haason Reddick beats, Orlando Brown Jr. or Andrew Wiley off the line right away and runs into Mahomes and hits his leg, and now Mahomes is banged up again and is, very limited? That's a concern. What if he runs into Mahomes and he hits Mahomes' leg and Mahomes just can't play in general? I mean, that's not a concern. That's a nightmare scenario, and it's not insane to think could be a very real possibility. I do think Mahomes could get hit a little bit in this game, and if he does, that would be a very real issue for the Chiefs, obviously. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong, but I think if you're a Chiefs fan, the number one worry you have is if Mahomes is not Mahomes. Okay, 5 things that get you excited though. 5 things that could go right for the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 5 is the run helps the pass. Now, this is something where I think the Chiefs will run the ball. When they run the ball, they will run the ball effectively. I don't think they're going to run the ball a lot, but I do think that when they run the ball, they should be able to effectively move the ball down the field. The hope is that when they do that, maybe that could get some attention away from the passing attack. Maybe that could get another safety in the box. Probably not. I wouldn't expect so, but maybe it just, again, could help out your offensive line, which might need it against some really good pass rushers. Things like that. It's definitely something that you feel like could be a benefit if the Chiefs can tap into it. Again, Andy Reid doesn't love to run the football, but if he uses this effectively, I could see it working out. Number 4 is the defensive scheme for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that maybe their defensive scheme could help out against this Eagles offense because it makes me think they could be doubling A.J. Brown a decent amount, and if you double A.J. Brown, it just makes things easier. It doesn't make things easy, right? You still have to cover Devonta Smith. You still have to cover, you have to cover Dallas Goedert. But the main thing is if you can kind of funnel everyone towards the middle. That's what the Chiefs like to do. Funnel everyone towards the middle. And then, they're very good at covering over the middle. They've been very consistently good at covering over the middle all year. This could be something that I'm not sure if the Eagles have fully seen before. I think that could be a fascinating scenario and something that, again, if we're talking about what could go right, there's a chance that that could go very right and the Eagles aren't used to this and don't know exactly how to handle it in the passing game. So that's why I have it on this list. Number 3 is a simple one, but I still think one to talk about is Philly inexperience. The Philadelphia Eagles, not only, listen, they have 6 players who have won a Super Bowl with the Eagles in 2017, so I'm not necessarily talking about that, although still, only 6 players. A lot of these guys have not played in a meaningful game this big, and a lot of those guys as well haven't played in a close, meaningful game period in the NFL because, the first 2 games that they played in the playoffs were complete blowouts. So, they're inexperienced in that regard, but also just inexperienced in playing a team like Kansas City. I don't think they've played a team as good as Kansas City all season. In fact, I just feel definitively, clear that they have not, in my opinion, played a team as good as Kansas City. So when they get punched in the mouth, how will they respond? If you're the Chiefs, you're hoping they respond poorly and they compound their mistakes and they panic for a little bit, and then you can take advantage and go up 14-0 in the first quarter or something like that. Will it happen? I don't know. But could it happen? Sure. Number 2 is no answer for Travis Kelce, because no one has an answer for Travis Kelce, right? When does Travis Kelce get shut down? Very rarely, almost never happens, and I don't know if the Eagles are going to be able to do it here. Again, they have good linebackers, but they don't have cover Travis Kelce one-on-one good linebackers. Again, Lavonte David did it in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and even then, Travis Kelce still had a great day when he wasn't on Lavonte David. He still found a way to get a ton of yards in that one. But, that's kind of the one way you can stop him. Very few teams have that situation, and the Eagles do not, even though they have good linebackers. So the idea is maybe this could be an awesome way to move the ball down the field. Maybe they could consistently hit Travis Kelce. He could have an 100-yard day. That's how you can win a Super Bowl. Wouldn't be the first time Travis Kelce had a big hand in the Chiefs winning a Super Bowl. But number one on both of these lists is all about number 15 for Kansas City, as it should be. Number 1, thing that could get you the most excited and the thing that you hope happens the most if you're a Chiefs fan is Mahomes is Mahomes. If Mahomes plays like Patrick Mahomes and plays like good Patrick Mahomes, he can beat anybody. He just can. He is that good. And as much as I like Jalen Hurts, to me, it's very clear the ceilings on these 2 quarterbacks are just different. Jalen Hurts' ceiling is really good. Mahomes' ceiling is he plays like the best quarterback I've ever seen. So those are the differences. And if Mahomes is on, the Philadelphia better look out, but if Mahomes is off, then Kansas City better look out, and there's a lot of interesting ways this game could go. So what do you think? What are some other things that could go right or wrong in this one? Let me know in the comments below. I'm making another video on the other side, what could go wrong and right for the Eagles, so check that one out. And yeah, always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.